at the floor unit that you have here, I noticed that, I mean, who came up with the brilliant idea of being able to cover your game if you're in the middle of a game and you have to stop, but you want to serve, food or have guests over at the same time and throw everything over your game, keep your game intact. I mean, whose idea is that? Who comes up with something like that?
Actually, well, Robert Buford, the owner, he was raised in the crucible of gaming, you might say.
Okay.
His grandma's known for throwing epic gaming parties. This is his grandma, mind you.
Yeah.
He is actually our lead designer and also the owner of the company.
Excellent.
And he is the one with the strongest opinion of the details of the different pieces that we do. And he's the one that came up with the 2 different layers and the surfaces, and how we use there's a sheet of acrylic on the table and stuff like that. That's actually on every single table that we make.
Excellent.
No matter what picture you see, there's always all these different layers that go with the tables.
Okay. And what kind of add-ons do you have? I see that you have coasters
Yeah, we have cup holders, we have wine glass holders. We have something new coming out called the card and counter holder that holds, say you're playing a card game or a board game that has cards and little pieces. So we have little hook-ons that can attach to the tables.
Excellent.
And then we don't just make tables. We also make comic book cabinets and flat file storage units and some really fun display units as well. So ejecting. Let's see, we have a suction cup. So you put your board game mat grid hex underneath, and that's a wet dry erase surface. We also have a rail system you can have in the table, so you can have cup holders that hook on, wine glass holders. And if you go from sitting to standing, they have a little bit of a lock on them, so you can actually reach under and just kind of undo the lock. And then you can put them anywhere along the rail. Here's a demonstration of the GM's drawer. This is the most complicated drawer that we do here. So you have a privacy screen, and then if you like, it can double also as a book rest. And then when you actually go to close the drawer up and it folds in, the nice part about all of our drawers is if you lean forward, it can't actually close until you actually unlock, and then it stores right inside the table. We have 20 different pieces that we offer as standard. Now, of those 20 pieces, most pieces come in between 6 and 21 different sizes.
Okay.
And most pieces have a myriad of options to deal with. So if you want to do something that is standard, you place a deposit to get in line, and then we actually assign you a valet.
Oh, cool.
And that valet acts as your personal furniture advocate. So they find out what games you play, where it's going to live. If it's a storage need, they're finding out what you're storing and how much. So we can basically get the right size and features and options for you. And then you actually make an educated and informed decision, but you don't have to become an expert at our furniture before you actually get our furniture. So for all of the standard things, that's kind of how we run it. And that's actually one reason that no one in our company actually works on commission.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually talk to anyone at any time and not feel any weird high pressure sales thing. We're like, if you deposit today, right now the current lead times are 7 to 11 months. So, and that's 35 people doing this full time. This is not a small endeavor.
Wow,
so that's kind of how the standard line works. But then you also asked about custom.
Sure.
There's little things you can do to the standard pieces to tweak them. Like we do custom engraving, or someone wants a slightly different style of leg or something like that, or they want a 2-tone piece that normally comes in 1 tone. We can quite easily, do those little add-ons. And then we also get people who are like, I love what you do, but I have this entirely different need. And then they start describing what they want. We're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tell us what problem you're trying to solve.
Okay.
So if you tell us what problem you're trying to solve, we can actually, because we have all sorts of things on the books as well, but we can actually help you even more accurately from there to come up with a completely custom piece for you. So that you'll be working with our R&D team. You'll have all sorts of design options to go through. We work with you on figuring out what your budget is, because of course we don't want to break the bank.
Right.
Is it unlimited versus I'd like to stay within this range? And then we kind of go through the process and figure out what's best for that piece. But then it's a completely custom, unique piece, and it goes through its own separate queue. So the wait times for that kind of vary depending on what kind of project it is. Is it a completely custom desk versus do you want your entire office done? I mean, those are two different, very different projects. So depending on what it is, depends on, you know, what prices will be, and, you know, that whole process.
So from the floor of Comic-Con, this is Ryan Palomo for D6 Mafia. Thanks for tuning in.